Alright, we're doing more Great Ace Attorney 2, and this time I'm not actually streaming it in the morning, I'm streaming it in the evening. You know, the great thing is that now we're in springtime. It doesn't get dark at like frickin' 5 p.m. anymore, it's almost 7 p.m. and the sun's still out, so I really appreciate that. It makes days feel longer and more happy, you know? Isn't that great? Anyways, we're gonna start case 3 for real today.
Bruno, are you listening?
Oh, sorry, what was that, Iris?
What's the matter with you? You've been miles away all morning. Didn't you like what I cooked for breakfast?
No, that's not it at all. What were we talking about again?
Today's paper, it's full of news about the great exhibition again.
Ah yes, the Great Exhibition. I'd like to go sometime.
Howdy, face. You're really not your usual self today. You seem very down. Don't you agree, Hurley?
He looks pretty down too, honestly. Huh? Did you say something, Iris?
Oh gosh, you're even more down.
Oh! When did you arrive, Mr. Arhodo? I've been here for half an hour already. We had breakfast together. What? Why did you mention it before? I thought you might have known I was here, you know, because breakfast. Iris is quite right. You're clearly lacking in vim, so much that I didn't notice your presence. Thanks. Of course, I could deduce the reason perfectly well with some simple observations. What? Let's see. Yes, for example, you tousled hair this morning with all its unruly spikes. Clearly can be deduced therefore that. Let me stop you there, Mr. Sholmes, because I think I can see where this is going. My hair always looks like this. It always has. Ever since we first met, in fact. Oh, really? How interesting. It just doesn't look like a haircut as such, I suppose. Thanks again. What a fucking joker. Crossed my mind recently that it's been 6 months now.
6 months?
Since I was forbidden from working in court. So I've been wondering how much longer I'm gonna be banned. Man, it's like frickin' Wiimfi, you get banned every other second.
Oh, well that would explain why you seem rather glum. Don't you agree, Hurley?
Did you say something, Iris? Back to moping. Wow, shit's really hit the fan. Orlock Shoal's depressed. Ryunosuke got banned. It's like, what's next? What's the matter with Mr. Sholmes today? He seems even more down in the dumps than me.
I know, and the great exhibition is opened. You think he'd be excited. Oh, why don't we all go see it together?
I want to, of course I do, but I can't. Not for the time being. Why not? Why not? Why not? Because I'm a great detective after all. So you're embroiled in some tricky case that you can't be distracted from, is that it?
I don't remember hearing that you're working on a case, Hurley.
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on. Yeah, which in other words means let's talk about the events 6 months ago. I'm not gonna honestly, I don't feel like examining everything today, because, for one, we've already examined this room before, so I can't imagine too much is different about it. Half a year ago now, I took on the defense of a young girl in trial here at the Old Bailey. What at first seemed like a simple case of murder that took place at London pawnbrokery turned out to be a part of a much more far-reaching plot that involved the British government. During the course of the trial, it was found that I made an unavoidable yet at the same time unforgivable mistake. Where's fail me? This situation is utterly deplorable. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I will decide upon your fate following the conclusion of the trial. Of course, my lord. In the end, I had my right to represent people in court revoked. I was told I had to spend my time in research and study, so that's what I've been doing.
You have, haven't you, Bruno? Reading all those big fat tomes about British law up in your room, and the notes about Sholmes's old cases.
Brewing Irish's special blends of tea, fetching me daily bread for me. You've become something of a manservant round here. Start on the silverware next, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, I'm thinking of going to ask the powers that to be reconsider. Oh, specifically Lord Strongheart, at the British Supreme Court in the Whitehall.
Lord Strongheart?
Ah, the delightful Lord Chief Justice. Not my favourite fellow. He's not mine either, but he's the man I have to talk to. He's the only one who can grant permission for me to start working in the courts again. I came to Britain to become the best lawyer I could. And I can't do that just sitting around here. Oh wow. that's like only the first thing and we already got a big lore dump. The whole of London's been swept up in this great exhibition, hadn't it? The most advanced science, the most modern technology, the finest works of art and feats of engineering. For the next 6 months, our capital will be showcasing these things, and the world will be watching. I can't talk properly.
Oh, do you know what I like to do? I like to look down on London from one of those lovely balloons.
Look down on? Do you mean those things? Fly?
Yes, of course. They fly high in the sky and don't even need wings to do it. All you need is hot air.
But how? How does hot air have anything to do with flying? Makes no sense. I can't understand it at all.
That's true of a lot of new scientific discoveries. Most people can't understand them at first. But in 100 years' time, all these things will just be common knowledge.
I suppose they might be. Give me a sec. Alright, I just had some crumbs in my bed I had to get rid of. I had to dispose of.
Mind you, some of the science being demonstrated seems very questionable. Something went wrong on the experimentation stage yesterday. There was a huge explosion. Still, I wish I'd seen it though. I'd love to see how bad some of these scam experiments really are.
Says the innocent 10-year-old girl. See here, every page of the paper carries some article about the Great Exhibition. But the brighter things shine, the darker the shadows that are cast behind them. Personally, I find myself drawn to the darkness, to the impenetrable. That is my proper atmosphere. Oh, we got a newspaper, nice. Shadows cast behind? Is that a metaphorical way of referring to the back page of the paper? Maybe, I mean, might as well have a look, right? Every article on the front page is news about the Great Exhibition. Public experiments to demonstrate brand new scientific ideas, cultural exhibits from around the globe. It's all so positive and hopeful about the coming century. We must all go see it properly before too long. I like how Iris is just kind of there. She was just chilling. The Reaper attacked? The fuck? So many glowing reports about the Great Exhibition and everything that's going on. Other than this rather gloomy looking one is. Lord Van Zeeks and compatriot cornered. Wow. Okay, Lost Cat, St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Public Health Services. That doesn't sound good. Wait, what?
What's the matter, Reno?
Oh, here we go. The Reaper attacked. That's Lord Van Zeeks. This must be what Mr. Sholmes was talking about. Does he know any more, I wonder? Oh, we gotta ask him about that shit. You could, like, kind of read some of it. Oh, I saw King Charles mentioned there. Oh, the Reaper attacked, okay. Your gloomy mood. Are you investigating a particularly tricky case at the moment, Mr. Sholmes? You could say that, I suppose. Nothing more to add? That's not like you. What sort of case is it? Hush! Quiet, Mr. Naruto. We must not discuss it here. You never know who might be listening.
You're acting very strangely, Hurley.
What do you mean, Iris?
Usually, the more mysterious and complicated cases, the better Hurley's mood.
Ah.
Is it really a case that's bothering you?
Iris, please! You mustn't exercise your astute powers of observation and deduction on me without invitation. Remember what I always say? Put yourself in the shoes of an individual of whom you're making deductions. You say that, do you? You, Mr. Sholmes. Never mind. Once I've had a cup of tea, I must make my way to the crime scene. At once. That was a deep sigh. Hold on, before I forget. Present my armband. Oh, Mr. Sholmes. How about this? Hush! Not another word! Ah, yes, I see. This would be a collar from a breed of miniature canine with particularly long... Oh, he's doing this shit again. Actually, it's the armband I always wear that symbolizes my role as defense lawyer. Precisely, which leads you but one conclusion. Your arm is, in fact, the particularly long neck of a miniature canine. Yes, very good. Okay, what about the Great Exhibition newspaper? Oh. My dear fellow, without wishing to sound rude, I'm currently in the middle of a very important blink. Perhaps some other more convenient time, Is there a set time for your important blinks, or are they an all-day affair? Just so I know. So he has two different things to say. Oh wait, that's the newspaper is for the generic dialogue. The armband is like actually a thing that he says. Like if you see the item pop up in the corner, that's how you know it's like they have something unique to say about it. It says in the paper that Lord Van Zieks was attacked. That's terrible. You know the legend of the Reaper of the Bailey course, don't you? Only too well, in fact. Yes, Prosecutor Baron Van Zieks. Yep, there is his fucking wine glass. They say that if the Reaper is the prosecutor in the case, there's no salvation for whoever's in the dock. Even if the defendant is found not guilty. There he is. Once the Reaper has someone in his sights, one way or another, that person's times left on this earth will be short. London's finest rogues always find ways around the law. They'll stop at nothing to secure an acquittal at trial. Falsifying evidence, paying sham witnesses, threatening jurors, bribing judges. But even such devious tactics as these cannot save them from the hand of the Reaper. As you've experienced yourself, haven't you, Mr. Naruto? Yes, I've seen the Reaper's retribution at work. Many of these criminal rogues are reckless and quite unafraid to die. If a leader among the fraternity is seen to be taken by the Reaper, retaliation like this does occur. Really, the capital has a never-ending supply of such scoundrels. So, do you mean Lord Van Zieks has been attacked like this before? This isn't the first time. He's quite an accomplished combatant, you know. He doesn't take these attacks lying down. Although, it seems that his assailants were armed with guns this time. Oh my goodness. Is he alright then? Is Lord Van Zieks hurt? My dear fellow, how on earth would I know?
Well, in the article here it says, as to what of Lord Van Zieks and his condition, all will be revealed in tomorrow's morning edition.
Ah, I see. Well, we shall have to be patient then.
No, I can't wait till tomorrow.
In that case, you shall have to inquire with somebody in the know.
But who?
Lord Strongheart, perhaps. It all comes back to Lord Strongheart. Oh, he's dappered up. Well, I must be leaving now.
Yes, understood. See you later, Mr. Sholmes.
Ah, you really are a shameless liar sometimes, my dear fellow. What? You seek to put me off my guard and follow me, don't you? Well, you be wasting your time.
The thought hadn't crossed my mind, but I'm wondering where you're going.
Well then, see you later indeed. So this case takes place after Suzuto's already left to go back to Japan. So she's not here with us, I'm assuming, then. Listen to him, he's still laughing on his way out the door. Oh. Oh, she's all dripped up, too.
Alright then, Runo, let's get going.
Oh, Iris, what are you wearing?
I've got change to go to the Great Exhibition. You're gonna take me.
What? But I was just about to go to the Supreme Court.
Oh, well that sounds fun too. You're gonna take me there then.
Alright, fine. Just lower that weapon, would you?
Of course. And after the Supreme Court, then we'll go to see the Great Exhibition.
Yeah, I wonder what they're gonna say about me bringing a little girl to the court. That's gonna be frickin' jovial indeed. What shall I make for breakfast tomorrow? Why don't I surprise you, Runo? It's been 6 months now since Susie went back to Japan. I think this place would be a good idea. Oh boy, here we go with the frickin' gears again. It's frickin' clock tower ass. British Supreme Court Lord Chief Justice's office. That's a long-ass name. It's been about 6 months now since I was last here. But some things never change, like the sense of foreboding I always seem to feel in this place. Ah, she's adorable, look at her. Doesn't seem to be bothering Iris at all, though. She's happily reading over there.
Oh, I love this place. I always find so many interesting books here.
Of course. I was forgetting that you'd been here before. The time we came here 6 months ago. Oh, yeah. When Suzuto-san was given the news that she was returning to Japan. Oh, here we go. I don't fucking remember what voice I gave him. Apparently, apparently he doesn't even have a voice. It's like a lot of characters in the game have a voice, but apparently he doesn't. Unless he has it in a cutscene or something. Can I go, like, look up my video and see what voice I gave him? I could do that. I still have yet to do the Part 8 thumbnail. Welp. What would it be in, like... Well, what case did we see him in, anyway? Was it, like, part number 7? Oh, let's find out. I'm gonna have a look-sees. Oh yeah, here we go, I found it. It is in part 7. Alright, let's see what voice I gave him. I don't know how good the volume is, let's see.
I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan?
It's not a bad voice, actually.
Seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 47 seconds late. My apologies.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, that'll fucking work. Alright. I feel like it's... The voice sounds too watered down. I don't know.
Ah, I understand you wish to speak with me.
Oh, Lord Strongheart. I trust you've been keeping well.
Let's see. Since you've arrived and requested an audience, it's been 4 hours, 32 minutes, and 26 seconds. Kept you waiting, huh? My apologies.
Oh, no, not at all. I like nothing more than standing around staring into space.
Good to know.
Good to know that doesn't appear to bother him at all. Miles Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of London. He's the man who allowed me to stop practicing as a defense lawyer when I arrived in Britain as a student, and he's definitely not evil in any way. You need only savor the air for a moment in this grand office to understand his preeminent status.
As you will be aware, the Great Exhibition of London is now underway at last. We're extremely busy as a result, policing the grounds, guarding the new technologies, dealing with petty crime. And furthermore, as of next month, we shall open the International Forensic Science Symposium.
Oh, I've not heard of that.
Investigating authorities from 40 countries around the globe will be taking part, including from your own land. Forensic science is the future. The world must embrace it. As well as hosting the nation, I have much to do. And it's my highest priority if others must wait for my attention as a result. So be it.
Well, it's nice to know where I stand.
So, you wish to consult with me? Of course, I can very well imagine what this is about.
Thank you for agreeing to this meeting, my lord. I want to be allowed to start working as a defense lawyer again in court. That's what brought me here today. But actually, there's something else playing on my mind, as it happens.
Here now, just take a deep breath and come out with it.
She looks like fucking Mickey Mouse with those damn ears. Alright, hey, what do you think about my armband? By the way, Lord Strongheart, about this.
The symbol of a defense law in Japanese judiciary.
Oh, I didn't expect you'd know that.
We never accept foreign students before first researching the legal systems of their home countries. But such trinkets are merely for show. The only true measure of your worth is your performance in court.
Yes, right. Well, at least he had something unique to say. Oh, what do you think about the frickin' Reaper getting attacked? Oh, that reminds me. Have you seen this?
The reports of the overwhelming success of the Great Exhibition? Of course.
No, not that. The story on the back page.
What story? The Reaper attacked. Ah, that. You've enjoyed some victories in court against my #1 prosecutor, have you not?
Oh, Mr. Reaper, what happened to him? He wasn't killed, was he?
There's no need for concern. Lord Van Zeeks would not be so easily dispatched, I assure you.
Can you tell us what happened? I'd really love to know.
Very well. If it interests you.
It does, strangely. Okay, good. So I was meant to do that. Alright. Yeah, I mean, I'm probably not going to, like, examine shit that much, because we already examined stuff in the last game, and honestly, I kind of want to get a move on with things. I don't want to sit here and waffle about all day. I actually came here today to ask for your permission.
Go on.
6 months ago, my right to work in court as a lawyer was revoked, and I was told to spend my time studying. Obviously, I'm very sorry for what happened, but the thing is, it made me understand what it really means to defend somebody under the rules of a foreign justice system. And I desperately want to have another go. Please, permit me to enter the courtroom again.
Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? Here it comes.
I'm sure you haven't forgotten your position here, have you? At best, you're a substitute for your compatriot. This was never your intended role.
Well, that's true. The Japanese government actually sent my best friend on this study tour, not me. It should have been Kazuma. He's so determined to bring change to our justice system at home. That was his calling. Oh, here we go. The lore. If that tragic incident hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here in this office now. Mr. Segu is my best friend, you see. That's why I can't leave it unfinished. I have to fulfill his calling for him.
His calling, you say? Has it never occurred to you that perhaps you know nothing of his true calling?
Sorry?
The mission with which that young law student was charged. What do you suppose it really was?
What do you mean? Mission? He's not making any sense.
Never mind. I've read all the reports you've submitted over the past 6 months. It's clear to me that you regret your actions and have been studying obeying your revised instructions.
Do you mean...
As of this moment, I reinstate your license to practice law here in Great Britain.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's wonderful news, Rono.
In fact, I believe I have the perfect case to mark your comeback. A curious affair. You'll consider it, I hope.
Of course. Please, tell me more. Oh, here we go. A curious affair. You described it as a curious affair?
Yes, that's right. I believe it was reported in the press. As you're aware, there was a serious accident at the Great Exhibition yesterday.
Oh, no.
Yes, I read about it. A professor from Great Germany,
not Great Germany, just Germany.
tried to carry out a crazy experiment. Let me see. How was it described? Super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, I think.
Instantaneous kinesis, as in moving things with a click of the fingers.
That's right. It's just what my herbal blend needs. A dash of devil may care.
Oh, there's the Devil May Cry reference again. Whatever this serious accident was exactly, it's clearly captured the Iris's imagination.
It's an unfortunate business. A large explosion engulfed the public experimentation stage, and a man lost his life. A certain Mr. Odie Asman, an investor and a well-known figure in society.
Odie Asman? Is that, what's that a pun of? Odious? Maybe? Odious sounds like, a good pun. Odious man, maybe? A large explosion?
A man died?
The man responsible for the experiment was Professor Albert Harebrayne.
Harebrayne? Oh man, how many frickin' times have we seen a British person named Albert? Like that happens so goddamn often. I don't know what that a stereotype is, but I hear that so often.
He was detained immediately after the incident and is due to appear in court tomorrow on the charge of murder.
What? Murder?
If you intend to take on his defense, you should hurry to meet with him at prison. There's very little time left for you to carry out any kind of investigation.
The Great Exhibition? A scientific experiment gone wrong and... murder? I feel out of my depth before I even started. Still.
We should go to the prison straight away then, and try to meet with this German professor. Don't you think?
Definitely. Well, I wasn't done talking to him yet, though.
Ah, yes. One more thing about the case. There's a connection with our mutual acquaintance, the Reaper.
Oh, with Lord Van Zeeks? How? Oh, we haven't done the Forensic Science Symposium yet.
All sorts of conferences have been taking place around the world to coincide with the Great Exhibition. And next month, the largest and most important of them at all will take place at last. The International Forensic Science Symposium.
It does seem as though criminal investigation needs to embrace scientific methods, doesn't it?
Exactly.
I like how whenever he fucking, like, T-poses, the camera has to zoom out so you can see him doing it.
London, the global epicenter of culture and science and wealth, now has a population exceeding 6 million. Sadly, crime in the capital is growing at a similarly startling rate. So it's imperative that we use the latest scientific methods to investigate and resolve cases as efficiently as possible.
Which is what's known as forensic science, isn't it?
Exactly. The future of policing. Regrettably, however, Britain is currently dragging its feet when it comes to the adoption of forensic methods.
Oh dear, that's alarming.
Exactly. It's extremely alarming.
Just fucking Irish squeaking every time he T-poses.
If I were Her Majesty's Attorney General, you can be sure. the numbers of crimes committed and resolved in London will be very different to the current figures. And I can cite 12 solid arguments and 223 individual reasons to support my claim.
Sorry? That's a very oddly specific number you got there, bud.
By way of apology for keeping you waiting earlier, I shall detail everyone now.
What?
Oh, how fascinating.
It all began 15 years ago. I was...
Oh boy. Here we go. Well, isn't that just great?
And that more or less sums up my feelings on the matter, in the simplest terms, of course. Essentially, to formally establish a forensic investigation division with Scotland Yard. That is my mission.
Oh, right, yes, that's, wonderful.
Exactly. Wonderful is precisely what it will be.
She got distracted. Iris isn't paying attention at all. She's got her nose in another book now.
Oh, is it over? Did you learn anything useful?
I actually drifted off for the most part. He's surprisingly ardent about forensic science. Van Zeke's condition.
Fortunately, Lord Van Zeeks emerged from the attack unscathed. Street ruffians are no match for the man. He's a very capable fighter.
But that's incredible. They're armed with guns. Why was he attacked, though? Do we know?
It's related to events that occurred a month ago. A leader of one of Capital's criminal organizations was indicted and prosecuted by Van Zeeks. But the man was acquitted. I've no doubt large sums of money were involved behind the scenes.
Large sums of money?
A deplorable situation. Members of the jury were bribed, it seems. However, despite winning his freedom, the man in question met a dramatic end yesterday.
But you're not suggesting that was the work of the Reapers, surely?
The victim's henchmen certainly seemed to think so. He was a man by the name of Asman, Mr. Odie Asman.
Did you say Asman?
That's the man who died in the big explosion at the Great Exhibition.
Yes, known publicly as an investor, but in reality, the head of a significant criminal organization.
Unbelievable. Do we have him in the court record now, actually? Oh, yeah, there he is. Yeah, he's just there now. I think I pressed it the literal second he got added. A well-known financier who perished in the explosion of the experimentation stage of the Great Exhibition. Seems he was also at the head of a large criminal organization. Wow. The Lord Chief Justice who wields absolute authority in judicial matters, including the appointment of lawyers. He's a thoroughly intimidating man. Yeah, I mean, he's 53 and he looks like that. This guy's 47 and he looks like that. Man, age either hit him like a truck or age is blessing him. I don't know. I wonder, could I ask you about something, Lord Strongheart?
Try me.
Why do you use Lord Van Zeeks as a prosecutor? All the criminals who manage to get off in court then meet with the mysterious ends outside the courtroom. And fearful of that fate, they seek to strike at Lord Van Zeeks first. I know there's no evidence that it actually is the Reaper in that sense, but still. Something's clearly going on here.
I have Van Zeeks work for the prosecution service for 2 reasons. Firstly, the man's the best prosecutor in the capital, bar none. And secondly, any deaths of criminals that have occurred outside the courtroom following his trials had nothing to do with him.
That doesn't make sense. How can you explain the way so many have died if not by someone's hand?
Van Zeeks may have earned himself the moniker of the Reaper, but he's no killer. So he'll continue to prosecute on behalf of the Crown.
Well, I do believe that. Like, I think it's just a mere coincidence that they're dying.
Unless he wishes otherwise, of course. Well, I must be leaving for my next engagement. I'm already 11 hours and 16 minutes late. My colleagues may be starting to fidget.
11 hours late? That's quite something.
That meeting had already started when I arrived back here for the engagement with you. So lateness was inevitable. Time stops for no man.
I'm sure it stopped for me during those 12 solid arguments and 200 at all. Did that take fucking 11 hours to do? Like, no shit. Oh yes, where would I find Lord Van Zeeks now? Oh wait, that wasn't supposed to be sarcasm.
I would assume he's at his office.
Right, I'll go and ask him about the attack in person. I want to get this straight from the horse's mouth.
Away with you now. I'm leaving Professor Harebrayne's defense entirely in your hands.
Of course, yes. Thank you very much, my lord. Yeah, he's definitely not evil. Wait, is this the first time we've ever been to the prosecutor's office? I think it is. Wow. Look at this. This is the most British-ass thing I've ever seen.
Ooh, so this is the legendary Reaper's office.
Yes, it appears so.
It sends a chill down your spine, doesn't it? What an amazingly deathly atmosphere.
Oh, is that... Oh, he's praying. He's praying, meditating? I don't know. I said pretting. That hooded figure was so still. Hadn't noticed his or her presence. I wonder who is it? I think it's Van Zeeks.
What are you doing here?
Oh! I think this is the first time we've seen him outside the courtroom, actually. He's unwelcoming as I thought he'd be. Actually, maybe even more so. Oh, I'm glad to see you're well.
I am.
So, who's the person over by the wall being punished for something or other?
No punishment is taking place here.
Oh. Well, that's not him.
That's my apprentice, and he's sitting there of his own free will.
I didn't know you had an apprentice. Must be the same person who was pictured in the newspaper. Ah.
He's very able in combat, a requisite skill for anyone under my tutelage.
Are you referring to the attack on the Reaper that was reported in the papers?
The Reaper. I'd be interested to know the Reaper's true identity myself. Assuming, that is, such a fabled fiend generally inhabits our courtrooms.
Wow, yeah, this is really weird. Like, I knew at some point we would see him, like, from the front, because it's always really funny when, like, you see a prosecutor from, like, the side in most of these cases, but then when you see them from the front, it's always really weird. Alright, well, here's my armband. I know you've seen this around my arm before, but...
What is it exactly?
It's the mark of defense lawyer, in Japan at least.
And what's your reason for showing it to a British prosecutor?
Oh, well, I don't know, really.
I can understand, at least. There's merit in reminding yourself of who helped you become what you are today.
Oh.
But that's a personal matter. Something you may want to keep close at all times, not something to flaunt.
No, I suppose not. Thank you for understanding, though. Oh, hey, I got an achievement for that. For presenting the armband to Van Zeeks in episode 3. See, I'm getting all the cool achievements, dude. Lord Van Zeeks, about the article in this paper.
Ah, yes. It seems there was a reporter nearby when that little skirmish took place.
I love just giving him the fucking Dracula voice. It's so fun.
I had no idea I'd been photographed. It was careless of me.
It looks as though it was taken after the people who attacked you ran away, though.
Rest assured, the police have already apprehended every last one of them.
But there's somebody else fighting alongside you, it seems. Yeah, this mystery man. And I think it's the same man who's sitting over there as we speak, isn't it? Isn't it?
As I've mentioned already, he's my apprentice.
Perhaps you could tell us a little more about him. Ooh, your apprentice. Okay. Let's start from the top. Yeah, I don't know if it's just me, but like Van Zeeks is like the most chill fucking dude ever. Like I remember, you know, before I played this game, I thought like, oh shit, he's like a nasty, scary dude, but no, he's just fucking vibing, bro. Lord Strongheart said that the assault last night was some sort of revenge attack.
True. Carried out by a henchman of Odi Asman's criminal organization. The investigation meant the arrests were imminent. Presumably some hoped to kill me before that happened.
Odi Asman.
He's always masqueraded as one of London's most powerful financiers, a global investor. But his enormous wealth came to him by underhand means, via his criminal activities.
And he used that money to buy himself a verdict of not guilty when he found himself in court, didn't he? Being prosecuted by you, Mr. Reaper.
But the man got his comeuppance in the end. Yesterday, in fact, his extraordinary circumstances. It was a most unusual cause of death.
I know about that. It was a super high voltage instantaneous kinesis gone wrong. Mr. Asman died when the demonstration on the public experimentation stage ended in an enormous explosion.
Correct. And you think I have some kind of divine ability to cause an accident like that to happen, do you?
Well, no. That does seem a little far-fetched. If this man really is the fabled Reaper, then he has to be innocent of this particular death at least.
It's strange how this has worked out, isn't it, Runo? Isn't it? I mean, what with you taking on the Professor's defense for the trial tomorrow?
What? You're going to be defending him?
Oh yes, that's right. Though I barely know the man's name yet, to be honest.
Albert. Albert Harebrayne.
That's right. Do you know him by any chance?
Of course. He's a contemporary of mine. We were at university together.
Yo.
What?
Oh, here comes the music again. Wow, we're just going all over the place. Yeah, somebody made a funny comment that I read the other day about this song, where it's like Van Zeeks in Great Ace Attorney 1 plays when he's serious. Great Ace Attorney 2 plays whenever he speaks. Which is really fucking funny. Or it's like whenever he breathes or something. It's like whenever he breathes, the song plays. And I found that comment really funny because I'm starting to see it now in this case alone. I don't understand that Professor Harebrayne was from Germany, though.
Harebrayne's from a respectable British family. After graduating from the University of London, he moved to Germany to carry out research. That's all.
So you were students together?
I was in the Faculty of Law, of course, and he in Science, so our paths rarely crossed. But curiously, we got along, though I've not met him since my university days. I certainly didn't expect our next encounter to take this form. And with you of all people representing him.
Only if I make it out of this office alive. He's actually been charged with murder, it seems.
Yes, I know. Because the prosecution will be handled by me.
By you? But you made it sound as if you and the Professor have been friends.
We are friends, it's true.
Then why would you do this? Because what's his name? Strongheart says he has to.
If the Reaper is the prosecutor, there's nothing anyone you can do to save him. He's doomed.
What's Lord Van Zeek's thinking? And there's like This is the most Ace Attorney-ass thing. It's like, why would you prosecute someone you know? And it's just like, it's my job, bro. I gotta do it. Alright, the Reaper's identity. What do you mean by what you said before? If you'd like to know the Reaper's identity, does that mean... I'm a crown prosecutor, immortal like any other. I'm no demigod.
But they've all died, haven't they? The people you've prosecuted, I mean. Whether or not the trial ended in a conviction or acquittal.
Those I prosecute are the vilest wretches of society. People who, without question, deserve to be found guilty. The world is a better place without them.
But that's not true of Mr. Natsume, for example. He wasn't a vile wretch at all.
Nor was Ginny. In fact, she's ever so hardworking now.
I can't deny that since I have encountered you, things have taken a turn. But the point is this. If any of those vile wretches I escaped justice subsequently died in mysterious circumstances, it was at the hand of their own kind. It's not my work.
Lord Strongheart said the same. He believes you're not involved in any way.
But you were attacked by those ruffians because they believe it's true.
Yeah, propaganda spreads quickly.
The fact is, since people started to call me the Reaper of the Bailey, the number of serious crimes in the capital has dropped substantially.
Oh.
It would appear that even the most hardened criminals can be even made fearful for their lives.
Do you mean to say...
I mean to say that if my pseudonym serves a useful purpose, I adopt it gladly, and with honor.
But it's putting you in danger. You could be killed.
If that is my fate, let God decide.
Lord Van Zeeks. And your apprentice? Man, we're only like, we're not even an hour into this case, and it's already fucking amazing, dude. I mean, maybe it's just because I like talking to Van Zeeks.
He's in my tutelage to become a prosecutor. So you could say he's my apprentice, I suppose.
Ah, like you are to Haley then, Reno.
I don't remember taking an apprenticeship with a great detective.
He's currently compiling a report about last night's attack.
Looks like he's wearing some sort of mask?
On Lord Strongheart's orders. Nobody knows the man's face, or indeed his identity.
But why would you agree to take on such a clearly suspicious individual?
Lord Strongheart's orders again. He's not one for meaningless follies. There will be good reason for his actions.
I hope you're right. Oh. Wow. He looks like a fucking phantom thief or something. I guess his name is Apprentice now. Ah.
The task is complete? Good. In that case, you can collate all the briefs.
He's probably not even gonna... Is he even gonna talk? He's probably not much... He's probably a man of a few words, isn't he? Nice to meet you? I mean, it might be one of those cases where... He's not gonna say anything right now, but by the time we get to case 5, he's gonna start, like, spewing a factory of words. Back to work again. That was really strange, though. I never met the man before. Didn't even know he existed, and yet... Somehow, it didn't feel like our first encounter. Whoever he is, he's probably going to be important in case 5. Like, let's just be real.
Don't bother trying to converse with him. He says nothing to anybody from outside this office. Lord Strongheart has strictly forbidden it.
Oh, I see.
Why are you so interested in my apprentice anyway?
No, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to... The way he stood there so casually, yet with that flawless posture... It couldn't be.
Ah, yes. There's something I've been meaning to ask you.
Oh, what's that?
That Nipponese man, is he faring well?
Sorry?
The one arrested twice in succession 6 months ago. With the stoop, and the mustache, and the jitters.
Ah, Mr. Natsume, you mean?
I'm not sure he'd be very pleased to find out you identified him from that list, Runo.
He's fine, thank you. In fact, I received a letter from him by international post the other day.
I see. Well, I think we can end our discussion here then, don't you? There's little time left before tomorrow's trial. I advise you spend it investigating the case.
Yes, thank you for the advice. And for the conversation. Can't believe he's asking after Saseki-san, after Nipponese. I'm not sure whether to feel happy about that or worried. I don't know, man. Van Zieks is a pretty chill guy.
I never imagined that Mr. Reaper would be friends with a mad scientist, did ya? That's a tenet for the books.
A mad scientist? Oh, you mean Professor Harebrayne? Yes, it might be worth quizzing the professor about his relationship with Lord Van Zieks, I think. Oh, he's still here, though. Okay, this will be the perfect time to examine shit, like... We have not been to this room before. Look at that fine collection of whole chalices and bottles neatly lined up there.
My hollowed bottles are filled with the essence of finest grapes from the finest vineyards I visit. And I personally oversee these chalices being made by the finest crystal craftsmen in the world.
And yet you throw them around in the courtroom like they were worthless.
Yes, because this imbecile is so unimaginably repeatedly wide of the mark sometimes.
Oh.
Before you open your mouth next time, you should consider a poor artisan whose work you defile.
So it's my fault. Silly me, how could I ever thought otherwise? Chess? Well, that's how you know he's like Edgeworth, because he plays chess. Lord Van Ziek's desk, look, so stylish.
And that's a marble chess set beside it.
Chess? That's the Western version of our Japanese shogi game, isn't it? You know, I'm actually quite good at shogi problems.
Oh, really? You'd probably like chess problems in that case.
I'd love to challenge Lord Van Ziek sometime. Too bad of shogi problems.
If you only really want to challenge yourself, you can always do that on your own at home.
Well, I guess I wasn't wrong in calling shogi Japanese chess then, huh? Even this game's calling it Japanese chess.
Ooh, look, it's a scale mold of the Great Exhibition of
Oh, I completely read that wrong.
It's a scale model of the Great Exhibition Showground.
That's amazing. I wonder why it's here.
Perhaps he made it take us off his mind of sadness of being too busy to attend in person.
Or perhaps he's too embarrassed to queue up for a ticket.
Surely it's obvious that I'm using it as an investigative aid.
Ah!
You Nipponese have no business painting others that are overly reserved.
Really didn't think you'd overhear that. What about this big-ass painting back here? That portrait really dominates the room, doesn't it? Oh, shit. It's a very majestic outfit and pose, but sadly, whoever painted it didn't do a very good job capturing Lord Van Ziek's facial features.
Yes, you're right. I mean, it's not far off, but the artist has exaggerated his subject's handsomeness, I think.
Ah, that reminds me. I heard Emperor Napoleon of France ordered artists to make him look more attractive when they painted him.
How vain. That's really not an attractive quality in a person, is it?
That portrait does not depict me. Surely that's immediately obvious.
Oh, then who is it? Oh, he's not gonna say who it is yet, I guess. I actually know who it is. I kind of got spoiled a bit on the wiki, but sometimes it's okay to get spoiled on things because that just makes the reveal that much more exciting. Look at all those ancient casks lining the wall there.
Casks in the Reaper's chamber? Or are they caskets?
You don't think all those people who escaped conviction in court are lying inside them? Look at Iris's hands slowly move up to her face. Dead, do you? What ridiculous notions are going through your head, man? This is my collection of fine vintages. Oh, yes, of course. Thank you for clearing that up.
Luna and I were just musing to ourselves. Don't mind us, Mr. Reaper.
I wouldn't if you hadn't invited yourselves to my office to talk nonsense with my earshot.
It really looks like a punishment to me.
I've never seen someone sitting like that before.
He hasn't moved a muscle since we arrived. Do you think perhaps he's dead?
If he was dead, Runo, he wouldn't be sitting up, would he?
Well, anyway, dead or alive, dead or alive. He's not overly approachable, is he? I don't think he's going to talk to us.
He's not dead.
Yeah, we're probably not going to get to actually talk with him proper until, like... Oh, there's bats! Ooh! Huh, they were bats!
Yes, the Reaper's familiars, I expect.
But what about the mute man in the dark cloak? I thought he was the familiar.
Just not the fine kind. He must be a dear friend of Mr. Reaper, then.
I think the familiar idea is more likely. Scary, though, either way. Well, now I have more than enough reason to give him the Dracula voice, because he has fucking bats in his room. So... That's everything, right? I think I examined everything. Yep. Alright, that's good. Well, that was fun. I guess I gotta go to the prison, then. Oh boy, time to do my worst German, like, impersonation. The warden said cell 11. That's this one.
Oh, there's someone curled up in a bulb in the back corner, look.
What's his name again? Professor Albert Harebrayne, wasn't it? Excuse me, Professor Harebrayne? Who are you? that's not gonna work, is it? A lawyer. Oh, was it something I said? A lawyer, you say? Would you be here about the experiment? Are you going to defend my hypothesis? Your hypothesis? Sorry, I don't... Yesterday's demonstration! That demonstration was... The magnificent demonstration was... It was an ordinary and utter success, by anyone's calculations. But aside to that... No one listens. No lawyer believes in the science. When it's explained, they all leave at high velocity. Yeah, this is the worst fucking German accent I've ever done. Now's probably not a good time to mention that your zeal made my concentration leave for a while too. And he's got fucking goofy ass music too. Alright, hey look, I'm a lawyer. Ah, fascinating. Yeah. I'm gonna have a lot of fun trying to fucking figure this voice out. In Japan, where I come from, it's a symbol of defense lawyer. Wearing it's very bracing, I find. Your words make some sense to me, but they are entirely illogical. What do you mean? Well, for example, I find this white laboratory coat that I wear for my work very bracing too. However, in my case, there is a perfectly logical reason for that feeling. Oh really? What is it? I purchased the wrong size by mistake. This one's too small for me. The sleeves, especially, are extremely bracing. I can barely move my wrists. That's what you call logical, is it? Of course, it's entirely logical. That's science, Mr. Arho. What a fucking nut. Oh, how could this have happened? You must feel awful, as well as a man losing his life. Crystal Tower was greatly damaged too. I know that happened. It wasn't in that. That? The day before the demonstration, I had my usual meal of frankfurters at the hotel restaurant. When I paid the bill, they gave me 3 shillings to too much in change. But instead of saying anything, I just left the coins into my pocket. They're still there now. It's divine retribution for my wrongdoing. That's what this is. For a scientist, that's very illogical anecdotes. Long and illogical. I have no clue what to make of this guy. Like, bro's fucking, like, cracked up on ADHD. You mentioned the demonstration yesterday.
The papers have called it a spectacular failure. After all, a man died in an explosion, didn't he?
Oh! Yeah, you could interpret the results that way if you really wanted to. Well, I suppose this the strictest sense. The experiment was a failure, but at the same time, it was a great success. You've lost me. I saw it with my own eyes, right there in front of me. Mr. Osman was spontaneously disassembled. Until then, everything was going exactly as my calculations predicted. At that point, he should have been beamed to the Crystal Tower by instantaneous kinesis. However, the machine exploded and Mr. Asman in fact perished. Yeah, I cannot deny that part of the experiment was a failure. So what you're really saying is the large explosion that killed Mr. Asman was an accident, correct?
But the bigwigs had you arrested on suspicion of murder.
I was responsible for a man's death. That is the most immutable truth here. And for that, I wish to be punished at once. But murder, never in a million years. It was an accident. Simply an accident. I see.
Haley and I were talking this morning, you know. He said the situation would change completely depending on whether it was treated as an accident and murder.
Oh yeah, that does make sense. Like, accidental murder and full intention murder are like 2 different things, I guess, right? How exactly?
Well, if it really was an accident, then the professor's machine would be kept in protective custody.
On what grounds? Ah, yeah, it's newly established here in Britain, the Special Dispensation for the Scientific Equipment Act. That one passed me by.
But if the case is treated as murder...
Then they'll see my machine as the murder weapon, and they'll be able to pour over it as much as they like. If they examine it in detail, they'll find out how much is made, and then they'll be able to copy my idea. My precious hypothesis will be stolen. The machine must be protected from all the costs. That's why it's imperative that this whole incident is shown to have been an accident in Thoreau's trial. Oh, I see now. Man, I might need to take a drink break. Like, this stupid, fake-ass German voice I'm doing is, like, killing me. Well, and also not to mention, I do want to play some RE6 later. So I'll probably bug the boys about that. So in short, there was a terrible accident at the Great Exhibition Showground yesterday. Yeah, or rather 9. The devil is in the details. Strictly speaking, there was a terrible explosion. Sounds the same to me.
You were demonstrating super high voltage instantaneous kinesis, weren't you? How fascinating.
Humans, like all matter, are made up of particles that are held together by electrical bonds. So it must be possible, using a sufficiently high voltage to break those bonds and beam the particles through space. I can't talk. That's it in a nutshell. That's mine idea, you see? That's mine amazing hypothesis. Gosh, that's unimaginably high-level science. Yeah, I mean, EGAD managed to do it, so he could probably do it. Oh, but dare to imagine it. dare to dream of such incredible technology? Just think, one moment Ein could be there in this cell, and the next Ein could be at the great exhibition again. Well, yes, that would be incredible. And in the next, in the mere blink of an eye, Ein could be at a great parish in a theater, I say. The possibilities are endless. The whole of our vast planet would be within reach. So no more hiding in wardrobes on rocky seas for 50 days.
I don't really see it like that.
What do you mean, Iris?
Well, if you could travel anywhere in the world instantly, the planet wouldn't really seem vast anymore, would it? I think you would feel like it shrunk.
My word, that's exactly right. What are the implications? What does this mean?
Oops, that's got Professor Bunny Brain really worried from the look of it.
Bunny brain. Clearly, this is yet another case of just because you can doesn't mean you should, I suppose. The point is, my calculations were flawless. The science works. But without the practical demonstration, it means nothing. And that's always the fly in the ointment.
Because practical demonstrations cost a lot of money. Money that young scientists like you don't have.
That's exactly it, yeah.
Hit point. Haley's always complaining about it. He says the government should invest more in science.
Well, anyway, ik bumped into him at the right time. Ik met with a well inspector, or investor. Man, see, this is why I gotta stop reading so fast. I fuck up, dude. The victim who died in yesterday's terrible incident, you mean? The victim? Well, I gotta read about the Reaper's varsity years first. I understand Lord Van Zieks is a friend of yours from the university days. Yeah, that's right. He was studying law whilst I was studying science. What was he like back then? Good question. Unassuming, gentlemanly, an all-round nice fellow, really? Sorry, I think you misheard me. I'm talking about the cold-hearted, merciless prosecutor, Barrack Van Zieks. Hey, that's not very nice, Reno. He's a pretty chill dude. What was he like when he was at university?
Talk about a leading question, Reno.
As I said, an unassuming and extremely pleasant gentleman. After all, he is the little darling of the Van Zieks family, with all of great aristocratic origins.
I didn't realize he had such quite noble blood.
Little darling? It was a bit of a shock when I came back to Britain and learned what he'd become. The Reaper of the Bailey, no less. Yes, that's right. I did hear, though, that there was a very big event in his life that completely changed him after graduation. Really? What sort of event? Oh! I'm sorry, but I don't know anymore. I wasn't in the country at the time. I was in Germany already. Oh, yes, of course. If he's heard all about the Reaper, I really don't have the heart to tell him that Lord Van Zieks will be the prosecutor in court tomorrow. Alright, well, the victim. The full name of the man who died in yesterday's accident was Mr. Odie Asman, wasn't it? What exactly was your relationship with the man? He first visited me in my laboratory in Germany a year ago now. He said he wanted to invest in my American hypothesis. I thanked my lucky stars. I see. So you hadn't really known each other until then.
Money for scientific research. I'm so envious.
As far as I was concerned, the man was an angel. Oh, really? An archangel, even. He was prepared to fund a practical demonstration of my hypothesis for presentation at the Great Exhibition. And if that went well, I could expect additional financial support for my research from the British government. Mr. Rausman provided me with money and an exceptional engineer. He produced a machine to mine precise specifications.
And then your dreams are blown to dust in one enormous explosion.
As you can see, I owed everything to Mr. Asman. I would never, ever thought of taking the man's life. Well, he seems genuine enough. I don't think he's lying. Kinda makes me glad we don't have the Magatama in this game. Because, at least in classic Ace Attorney, the Magatama was always so annoying. Like, you have to go to a bunch of places, get evidence, and then come back to this one guy at the very end of everything. Be like, hey, by the way, I bought a bunch of shit. Now I can prove you're a piece of crap. So, Professor, let me just make absolutely sure I've understood you properly. The huge explosion that occurred yesterday, that was an accident, you're saying? You had no intent to harm the victim, who was in fact the sole investor in your work, is that correct? As correct as 2 squared is 4, I swear it! Yeah, it's true that the man perished in a machine of mine invention. So, ignore that I'm far from blameless in all this, but still, I would never use my discoveries, my inventions, to take a person's life, not in a centillion years. I'm a man of science. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. Do you believe me? Do you believe in my hypothesis? Science is the pursuit of the truth, you know. I've always believed in that, all my life. I'm afraid I don't know much about science, or your theories. But I do believe you, and I'll fight to prove your innocence with all my might. I'm a man of the law. It's all I know. You have to believe me. Please. When I went to live in Germany after I graduated, I learned something very important. Nationality, class, lineage, none of that matters. As long as you try your hardest, you can achieve anything. Thank you for that, Professor. And thank you in advance for defending me tomorrow in court.
Alright, Runo. It's time. Time to visit the Great Exhibition.
Sorry?
Well, that's where the incident happened, isn't it?
Yes, I suppose that's true. Time to investigate it last. Oh, here we go. The experimentation stage. Oh, wow. Looks fancy, doesn't it? Foot of the Crystal Tower. Wow, that's a long name. Not the last one was long. Showground's a little too big for my liking. We've been walking around in dense crowds for 2 hours now, and I felt myself swooning 3 times.
There are a lot of people, aren't there? I've almost been trotting 3 times too.
Be careful, won't you, Iris? Don't let go of my hand. Oh, is there art of that? I kind of want to see that. It sounds cute. We finally made it through the thongs, though, by the look of it. Here we are, underneath the public experimentation stage where the explosion happened yesterday. A lot of nonsense. What's that? I can hear voices from up on the stage. Sounds like an argument. Right, I've had it with you this time. I'm warning you. I'll arrest you in a minute.
Oh yeah? Go on then, Spectre. Give it a shot. You ain't got no evidence and you know it.
Ah, great. These fucking crazy people. Wait, I know these voices. You've got a cheeky little mouth on you, young lady, but a night in the cells will teach you some manners.
Just try it, I dare you, if you want that bag of chips rammed down your throat. Yoo-hoo! Gregsy, what are you doing up there?
Here's Luigi again. This fucking goofy-ass clown music, dude. Well, it's not really clown music, but it's fucking goofy music. Ah! Oh! It's you here? You're here? Here you are? You here? Your ladyship! How are you, your ladyship? I do hope you're well, your ladyship. Does that make her 3 times a lady?
I'm not well at all. I'm far too busy everywhere. I want to ride in a balloon, but there was a 3-hour queue.
Unbelievable. I'll go and have a word for you at once, your ladyship. You'll be flying as high as a kite in no time once I pull some strings for you.
Tobias Gregson, an inspector at Scotland Yard. Until recently, he was suspended from duty, but it would appear he's back in action now. He's actually quite well known, appearing as he does in the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. And for that, he can't say a word wrong to the story's author, Iris. But there are limits, surely. Or there should be.
Watch it, sunshine.
Sorry.
What gives, then? Don't tell me you're on this case.
Yes, I'm acting for the defense.
So we're here to investigate.
Dear me. That's the situation, isn't it?
Is it really that troubling?
A measly 5 bob, is that all you got? You're a lawyer, ain't you? You can stand to carry a bit more cup on your back pockets, Mr. Naruto.
What? Hey, that's my last speck of money there is.
You can't have it back, but I'll have to charge you for all the bother, 3 bob.
I don't remember what voice I gave her, goddamn. This is Gina Lestrade, a pickpocket, a diver, born and bred in the East End of London. And she's the sweetest thing ever. In the case that led to my own suspension 6 months ago, this is the young girl I was defending in court.
What's your problem, Otto? Diver? Pickpocket? What's with them name calling? You want a bag of chips round down your throat and all, do ya?
I thought you were proud to be a diver, Gina. You were just arguing with Inspector Gregson about it, weren't you? I assumed you'd up to your usual tricks here at the showground.
That ain't no way to talk to a lady, Odo. After years work a long time, people can change. I'm an apprentice now, learning to be a Scotland Yard detective. So you'll have to call me what and everything else does. It's Inspector Lestrade now.
Inspector? That badge is homemade, surely.
The inspector part is entirely accurate. No one calls her that. For what it's worth anyway, investigating is off the cards for all of us.
What's that supposed to mean?
Right, well, I'll be back up top. You hold the fort down here, right?
Right, sir.
My accents just get worse every day. This raises a lot of questions. Alright, well, you know what time it is. It's time to present again. This armband is proof in Japan, at least, that I'm a defense lawyer.
And this badge is proof that I'm a detective. So you're all gonna have to start calling me Inspector Lestrade.
In that case, you'll have to start calling me, well, anything but Odo.
I could call you Defender now, Odo, if you like. But it don't really trip off the tongue.
No, it doesn't have a great ring to it, does it? And what about the newspaper? Gina, would you take a look at... Oh, where'd it go?
Haha, looking for this, Odo?
When did she do that?
I wonder if you got anything else to show me, eh? What you reckon?
Give that back first, please. Alright, we gotta talk. We gotta talk about Gina first. It was 8 months ago now that I first encountered Gina, in connection with a case I was working on. At the time, she was living in the East End with a group of other orphans. She helped all of them survive by pickpocketing, but then she got embroiled in a murder.
I had a lot of time to think in prison. I realized I couldn't go on like I was. The diving went working out. Oh, I'm so pleased to hear it, Guinea. Well done.
So, you went from being a pickpocket to a detective?
You got it. Good, isn't it? Inspector Lestrade sounds like something out of a book, eh?
Talk about a sea change.
And then there's Iris's old man, think about.
Iris's father? You mean...
Yeah, I promised it, didn't I? I said I'd get all the police force around the world to pull out all the stops looking for him.
Just a small problem, promise then. Nothing serious.
Oh, Guinea, you're so sweet. So anyway, that's how I had to go into a test for Scotland Yard. Only trouble is, I don't read so well, do I?
Just a small problem, nothing serious. Yep.
And that's when Haley approached Gregsy and asked for help.
Yeah, I'm just now realizing I'm kind of giving them both the same voice.
So the inspector said he'd take full responsibility for Guinea and made her a sort of apprentice.
That was very magnanimous of Inspector Gregson, and brave.
Well, you know Haley. He enjoys finding ways to make people do what he wants.
The great detective likes digging for dirt, in other words.
So, the long and short of it is, if you've got questions about the case, you can ask Inspector Lestrade.
Right then, Inspector. Actually, there's still a big mystery surrounding Gina in there.
Oh, what, Runa, what?
Well, 6 months ago, Gina was the defendant in a trial prosecuted by the Reaper. A trial in which she was found not guilty, and yet here she is still.
Come on, you're still not on about that, are you? Legend the Reaper, whatever it was called. Cool, you don't have to worry, Odo.
If I didn't half worry, there probably wouldn't be a whole lot of you left. Wow, that was not a great one.
It's like I told you before, isn't it? The Reaper's kinda like I'm upstairs. So he knows what I'm like on the inside. That ain't really nothing wrong.
Nothing wrong might be stretching a point. She's so much more confident now, I love it. You love to see it. Because at the very end of the first game, she was kind of just like, what's the word? Kind of down in the dumps, I guess. And it's not until like the very last hour of the game that you actually see her smile. Now she's just, you know, over here being all bubbly and stuff. It's you love to see it, you know?
What about Mr. Natsume in Japan? He's perfectly fine, isn't he?
Well, that's true. Perhaps the Reaper's more discerning than I thought.
Exactly. So I ain't worried. I'm totally fine.
Alright. Well, yesterday's incident.
Oh, it was out of this world, it was. The brainy boat put a bunch of pull levers on his machine, and suddenly it started billowing smoke. Then it just went pop. I ain't seen a better experiment here yet.
Sorry?
You mean you saw it, Guinea? With your own eyes? Yeah, of course. The boss is in charge here, ain't he? Keeping everything running smooth, I mean.
The boss being Inspector Gregson, I suppose. That's going to take some getting used to.
So all I have to say is that I'm on duty, so I can do whatever I want to. Get this, I was up in one of them flying balloons when it happened, watching it from above. No, you're so lucky, Guinea. Maybe I should join Scotland Yard too. Yeah, do it. You know how to put the boss in his place already, right, Iris? You'd have no trouble at all. Then it's settled. When do I start?
No, you can't join Scotland Yard yet, Iris.
We'll see. Anyway, what I don't understand is this. If the machine exploded so spectacularly, how can even Professor Bunnybrain still be claiming that his experiment was a success?
Oh, right.
Well, it was a success, in a way.
It was? How can it have been? Oh, successful experiment? Surely after the whole machine blew up, no one could call the experiment a success.
It's like I said, did sort of a work. I mean, yeah, there was a load of smoke and that whooping Greg bang. But where do you think they found the victim's boy, eh? In the crystal tower over there.
What? In the tower? I mean, yeah, there's that big glass thing, the big glass shatter.
You can see for yourself, can't you? Up there above the scaffold. Oh, where the glass is broken, you mean? Yeah, the cage what the victim got start with. Really did get beamed through the air and whatever and landed all the way over there. So, you see, it did kind of work, didn't it?
What? I don't believe it.
I mean, I don't get innings out of it, but anything's possible, right? With science. Oh, I tell you what, you can have this. It's a planned experiment they drew up at the yard.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on. I had 3 bob off you before, so fair's fair.
Yeah, I didn't actually give that to you, did I? Ah, so we got the experiment sketch. Diagram showing the relative positions of this crystal tower and Professor Harebrayne's machine that exploded. Something Inspector Gregson said before seemed a little strange. Yeah, that wasn't too long ago, was it?
Yes, naughty old Breaksy ran off that without explaining himself.
Oh, right, that. The boss said no one's allowed to investigate that weird machine what blew up yesterday.
Well, that's not fair. We're representing the defendant.
In that case, could you at least tell us what you've learned from your investigations?
Nah, you're not getting it. We ain't allowed to investigate neither.
Why? What did the boss call him again? The forensic investigator team think? Anyway, apart from them lot, no one's allowed to lay finger on the scene. Bit funny, innit? So even Scotland Yard's own detectives can investigate. Yes, I've never heard something like that before. I thought I could have a gander on the spot, though. On the quiet, though, but the boss caught me at it. You probably heard him giving me an earful about it before from down here, didn't ya? It's not bleeding fair. I think you were giving him as much of an earful back as I remember it. Yeah, well, sometimes I think it's some chips what make him so stubborn. You say something to him, Merdo? Go on, see if you can get through to him. He's up on the platform above us, is he? Where the machine that exploded is.
We can try, can't we, Reno? Gregsy will listen to us.
I mean, he'll listen to Iris. I don't know about listening to, frickin' Naruhodo. Alright, I want to examine. Actually, I don't even know if it'll let me examine. I mean, I could probably, like, look. I could have a look. The Crystal Tower. It's certainly an apt name. Kind of reminds me of Crystal Tokyo, but that's a Sailor Moon joke. It was built to be the focal point of the exhibition, and it definitely is, being so tall with all that glass. Can't imagine a building like this ever being erected in Japan.
There are lots of exhibits inside the tower as well, apparently. Of course, there's an observation deck, but there's also an art gallery, a zoo, and a museum. But I heard you have to queue for 3 hours just to get through the doors.
Well, at the moment, the shattered glass from the failed experiment may well be the biggest draw.
And thanks to that accident, the whole tower's shut.
Suddenly, it's not the Crystal Tower anymore, but the Crystal Glass Shower.
Apparently, everyone's talking to the skies now to look down on the disaster area from above instead. But there's a 3-hour queue to go up in a balloon now.
Londoners must be very patient people. 3 hours. God damn. What's this over here?
Ah, looks as though somebody dropped something behind the tree just here.
Dropped or hid? What is this? Some part of the machine that exploded?
Maybe. Could have fallen from the platform above in the blast, perhaps.
What's going on here? Oh, nothing. I think I'll hang on to this just in case. Oh, mysterious contraption. Oh, yeah, it's gone now. For some reason, the ground is damaged in this spot. Look. Almost as if there was a fire here or something.
Yes, if you look closely, there's some scattered ash and bent embers too.
Well, I suppose there was a big explosion just above here. People probably wouldn't bat an eyelid at a small fire like this would have been.
I'm not sure we English are quite that laid back, Bruno.
Oh yeah, by the way, random little sidetrack. Getting sidetracked here a little bit. But, I got a comment today on YouTube. And it was a guy asking, like, hey, how do I play Formula Kart Wii on Dolphin? And it kind of got me thinking, maybe I should make a tutorial on how to install Formula Kart Wii and Mario Kart Wii. You know, just like Mario Kart Wii mods in general. So, I might do that. I might end up writing that down. Let's see, make a FKW tutorial. Because trust me, I'd love to make a tutorial for that, because that's pretty easy to make, and I feel like it's something that a lot of people would benefit from. don't think that AST video I made got a lot of views, though. I mean, it is super niche anyway. But I thought it would be like a good enough niche that, you know, people would be interested in it. Let me see. I got 41. I mean, it's not bad. Anyways, what else we got? What about the guys? We haven't examined the guys. Oh, I can't examine the guys? These stairs obviously lead to the stage above. We should go up there and investigate the exact spot where the experiment was being conducted. Oh, that's how I get there, I guess. How often does that happen? How often do you get, like, you click on something and it takes you to a new location? You usually have to do it from the move option. So that's it, is it? The machine that blew up?
Ooh, must have been a magnificent explosion, and I've seen my fair share.
You've seen things like this before, you mean?
Of course. Hurley's always doing experiments that end in a bang. In fact, in his own words, explosions are the very essence of chemistry.
Ah, that might explain the smell of burning that frequently comes wafting from up the stairs.
One time, he made something that exploded with such force, it took off the roof of the building. I wish you'd been there to see it, Reno.
It's hard to get too excited about that, given that I now live in the roof.
Well, anyway, that's enough about that. It's time to investigate.
Oh, and yeah, and Luigi's there too. Oh look, Inspector Gregson's over there. He seems to be deep in thought about something, whilst eyeing up the machine carefully.
Really? He just looks confused to me.
I feel like I should let's start from left to right. There are all sorts of strange buildings here in the Great Exhibition Grounds, aren't there? Yeah, what's the fucking building from Tetris doing there in the background? I seem to remember something similar being exhibited in Japan one time.
Oh, in your country, Reno, I do wish I could go and see it. I'd present a particularly steely samurai with a present of one of Hurley's stories I'd written specially.
Steel Samurai, wow. Didn't expect to see a Steel Samurai reference in here.
And see if I could get Hurley into a jam against one of those Britsuit Master Ninjas.
You might not find as many of those sorts of people around as you think.
Oh well, that's dull.
Also, Jammin' Ninja reference too, I think. Ooh, but I do know a prosecutor with a Chong Mag Top that I could introduce you to.
A Chon Mage, really? Do you think I could have my pictures taken with him, do ya?
Assuming he's recovered from the trim Cosmo gave him a year ago, yes. Oh no, he's bald now. Don't worry about it. He has not financially recovered from that balding. It ripped itself apart magnificently, didn't it?
Magnificently and mercilessly.
As someone stands in the middle of the machine to be disassembled and then beamed through the air.
Yes, beamed. Not blasted. That's the point.
Yes, that part's crucial, really. Is something like that even possible, though, Iris?
Oh, Runo, I'm just a child. How should I know?
A child when it suits you, you mean?
From what I can tell, I think if you would have pulled it...
Stop! Don't touch that!
Ahaha, that was practically instantaneous kinesis that way you flew over now, Gregsy.
Please, your ladyship. I didn't mean to startle you, but I can't let you touch anything up here.
So sorry. You can have some of my lady's special blend to make up for it.
He's already having his tea.
Ah, wonderful. This stuff really is wonderful.
It's just like old times, this is. We're representing Professor Harebrayne in court tomorrow, Inspector. So we should be allowed to examine the scene.
Huh! Listen, Sunshine, even I'm not allowed to touch anything up here. It's that blasted Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act to blame. It's driving me potty.
Oh yes, that special dispensation. The professor mentioned that too.
More red tape's all we need. I don't know what the government think is sometimes.
But we're allowed to just look, aren't we?
Uh,
Surely that's alright, isn't it, Gregsy?
of course, your ladyship. Anything you say, your ladyship. But please don't get your dainty hands dirty, will you?
Don't worry. We wouldn't dream of touching anything, would we, Reno?
She really knows how to get what she wants. Oh, and we can talk to Luigi, too. Well, I need to examine everything first. I think I'm probably going to examine this, and then hopefully we'll get a to be continued, and then I can probably, like, you know, take a break before I do RE6 later. Considering how badly damaged everything is, Professor Harebrayne was lucky to escape unscathed, I say. We should have a good look around the machine while we can, I think. Touch anything and I'll make sure I kill you before I get stung up myself, you hear? I won't touch a thing, I promise. So please, spare a thought for your digestion. Anyway, do you really think this machine could actually disassemble people like the professor claims? He asks, looking totally incredulous. Give a rest, sunshine. If we were allowed to examine all this bleeding scrap metal, maybe we could answer that question. But we can't, can we?
Because of the annoying rules, you mean?
Exactly! The annoying, obstructive, flaming rules! Oh, look at the base of the machine there.
Oh yes, there's a tool of some kind poking through the wire mesh.
It's a screwdriver, I think?
Oh, isn't it a lovely one? The handle's in the shape of the capital letter A.
Oh, that's probably Albert's thing then. That's probably Harebrayne's frickin' screwdriver, isn't it? What's the matter with you? Don't touch anything, I said. Touch anything, I'll make sure I kill you before I get stung up myself, I said. Yes, yes, I understand. Sorry. I only touched it a teeny weeny bit.
But Gregsy, I'm very curious about this screwdriver. Really very, very curious.
Of course, your ladyship. You're so clever, your ladyship. Fancy spotting something like this. But I'm afraid I can't let you have it.
But Runo found it first.
I assure you, I'll investigate it thoroughly. He's going off with it.
That was very mean. I'm afraid Inspector Gregson's going to make a very clumsy and embarrassing mistake in next month's installment now.
Poor Gregsy. Oh, I didn't even get to talk to him. What a shame. Should have done that. What is that gigantic thing over there? Sounds like an enormous water wheel.
Oh, that's a Ferris wheel. There'll be people riding inside those little cabins, you see?
Why?
Well, they rotate nice and slowly, so it's a wonderful way to see the scenery surrounding you.
Wait, it's turning, but it looks completely still.
Yes, that's because it's turning so slowly. One complete revolution takes about a half an hour.
If you were mad enough to go in one, it'd be more fun to whiz around fast, don't you think?
I feel as though you might have just invented a new sort of ride there, Reno.
I'm kind of miffed now I didn't get to talk to Gregson, dude. Holy shit, look at this. That amazing horn-shaped device is pointing towards the Crystal Tower. I suppose once people are disassembled by the machine, they're shot out of the things that wherever they're going.
I don't think that is supposed to shoot anything right now. It was set up to beam people to Crystal Tower, where they'll be reconstructed in their original form.
Well, I don't like the look of it. If it was as amazing as it looks, the accident wouldn't have happened in the first place, of course.
I suppose that's true, yes.
But nothing ever goes according to plan, does it? Well, the balloon, can I look at the balloons? Yes. So those are people carrying balloons, dangling silently in the skies over London. I always thought the day would come when heroes would discover how to fly. But I never imagined it would involve them being suspended from colourful floating Tamari Han balls.
I'm sure it must feel amazing being up there among the clouds. Let's take a ride together, you know, please.
If I'm being perfectly honest, I'd like to try it. But without a cast iron guarantee that the thing won't plummet to the ground, I'm too scared.
Oh well, in that case, I should tell you what Hurley said. It's physically impossible for a flying balloon to plummet to the ground as long as it doesn't explode.
Yes, call me crazy, but I think that exploding part might play on my mind a little. I think that's everything. How often do you have to examine upwards? Bro. Oh wait, no, he's still here. Okay, I can still talk to him. I thought he like pissed off or something. I couldn't get to finish talking to him. This is the symbol of the fence law where I come from, Inspector.
Well, it doesn't pass mustard here in London. You might as well chuck it in the deep fat fryer.
No one's ever said that to me before. Mr. Shump suggested I feed it to a dog, though.
If you fry it first, you can feed it to me.
Does he think it's made of potato? That's one of the best lines so far. Inspector, have you read this paper?
Yeah, 2 unwelcome blasts back to back. This one at the exhibition and the Reapers getting attacked.
I know. Terrible news to wake up to, wasn't it?
I tried to pretend I hadn't read it and turned over for another 40 winks. Thanks to that, I was laid up and got a roasting from the super.
Some mornings are like that, aren't they? As a detective, what do you make of this?
Personally speaking, 9 times out of 10 I find clues turn out to be red herrings. So there's every chance that's totally irrelevant.
That's actually a fairly persuasive argument. Alright, what about, this? Okay, nothing important. he was about to eat his chips, and then I stopped him midway. Using high voltage electricity to somehow disassemble a man's body, and then beam him across the crystal tower. It's an extraordinary thing to attempt, especially in public.
True. It was by far the most unusual of the experiments planned for the exhibition, mind.
To be honest, I'm a bit surprised it was allowed. Carrying out something so dangerous with so many spectators present, I mean.
The government's doing everything it can to promote a new science and technology at the moment. They're more worried about being ahead of the game than the odd spot of public safety infringements. If they can be the first to develop some new technology, it makes Britain more powerful in the future, you see.
Yes, I suppose that's true, in a way.
So the powers ought to be placing a heavy emphasis on scientific rights at the moment.
What sort of rights?
They're making it so that any theories of the brains have remain their legal property, as it were. Right through development to a practical idea and even going to production. Which is the infuriating reason us coppers aren't allowed to touch this crime scene. Because the new Highfalutin Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act forbids it.
Oh, I see now.
The only people with permission to investigate here are from some brand new department at the yard. The Forensic Investigation Team is called. We've been relegated to keeping guard.
The Forensic Investigation Team.
Any old fool can see this heap of scrap metal was a sham to begin with. But just because it says scientific equipment on the paperwork, we can't do a flaming thing about it.
Poor Grexy, he's very head up, isn't he?
Special dispense something. Remind me again, what's this new legal act that means we're not allowed to touch the scene here?
Are you having me at sunshine? It's the Special Dispensation for Scientific Equipment Act.
The Stufasia.
Yes, I think Haley mentioned that recently, with a real twinkle in his eyes, as I remember.
I'm sure he did, your ladyship. I'm sure he did. Passed especially for his great exhibition it was. All scientists have to do is present their ideas or inventions to some suits in the civil service. And if it gets rubber stamped, that's a guarantee of rights to maintain the invention's confidentiality.
What does that really mean?
Think about it. Think of all the world-changing new inventions on display every day at this exhibit.
Stop yawning.
Although a good half of them are a load of cobblers, if you ask me, put forward by shadows like yourself.
Thanks for that.
Oh, I love how absurd some of the inventions are here. It's all so fun.
It might be fun to you, but a member of the force has to be present at every single demonstration. Can you imagine, eh? Hang science, that's what I say.
Oh, I don't think so. That sounds like my dream job.
You know, you'd soon think otherwise after spending a day guarding all these shammers bogus contraptions. But if they're all bogus, how can anyone hope to demonstrate them? There'd be no point. Yeah, well, there's a point, sadly. Sorry? Thanks to another of our government's bright ideas. If any theory of invention is deemed to show potential, the government hands out a research grant. Scientists get a funding? Exactly, and that's what they're all after. All these shammers got come from far away and to clog up Hyde Park. And who has to keep them all safe, eh? Who has to smile politely and welcome them? Us coppers, that's who. So you can see why I say it now, can't you? Hang science, hang it!
Oh, maybe I can see a point.
Apparently, Professor Harebrayne lives and works in Germany now, conducting his research. That's right. Came back to Britain especially for the Great Exhibition, as I understand it. Probably after one of the government's research grants, huh? Actually, we learned something else about the professor earlier today. About his time in further education. Turns out he was at university with someone we both know. Lord Van Zeeks. What's that? That's news to me! But if Van Zeeks mans the prosecution, then as the accused, the professor's fate is... sealed? Because the Reaper will get him one way or another? Blimey, the man's beyond me. I don't know what goes on in that head of his. Talking of Van Zeeks, this morning's paper ran the story of him being attacked. Read that?
Oh yes, but Mr. Reaper's completely fine. Nothing to worry about.
Yes, alright. Glad to hear it. Still, the Reaper, huh? How long is that business gonna keep us up, I wonder? Ooh, the mystery of the Reaper, here we go. The victim of the case, the investor, Mr. Asman. He was another of the Reaper's victims, or so I heard. Lord Barak Van Zeeks is a top-class prosecutor. But even he can't always push the right verdict, though. Sometimes justice can't win. Yes, I've heard about jurors being bribed and evidence being falsified. And that's how the notion of the Reaper the Bailey came about, isn't it? Obviously, Scotland Yard suspected Van Zeeks initially. We all assumed he was taking matters into his own hands if he failed to see the deal in court. Although the man himself denies that charge. Well, we've done a very thorough investigation, and the conclusion we reached is that Lord Van Zeeks is in no way related to the deaths of these people outside the courtroom. There's no question in my mind. I'd stake my reputation on it, I would. But if that's true, then how do you explain it? All those defendants couldn't have just coincidentally died if nobody killed them. I know that, but I can't explain it. It's a mystery after all, isn't it? That's the whole point of the Reaper. Professor Harebrayne mentioned something else. He said that at the university, Lord Van Zeeks was a totally different person. Easygoing and kind. You what? He said that it was after they both graduated that something happened to change the man. Do you have any idea what it was? No clue. Really? Look, I've got my hands full watching over this frustrating crime scene. Why don't you go and make a nuisance of yourself elsewhere, eh? Huh. I guess that's it. Do we need to go to the office again? What the fuck? He's just standing there, like, ominously. Lord Van Zeeks?
I think he's ignoring you, Runo.
The prosecution and defense should avoid speaking outside the courtroom as a rule. So if anyone is being rude here, it's most certainly the man in the black standing before us.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you for setting the record straight. Did you see that? He spoke to me, Runo.
So, Lord Van Zeeks, have you managed to visit the Great Exhibition yet?
He's definitely ignoring you.
Right, no niceties either then. Is that it? Okay, well that was a fun little bit of fluff. I'm assuming... Oh, he's gone. Yeah, the bats are back. Nice. Okay, well that was funny. What about prison? Do we need to go back to prison now? Oh, he's not even here now. Okay, what about the chief's office? Oh, nope. Sholmes' suite? No. Okay. What about the legal consultancy? Oh, did I do the right thing? Oh. What to do?
I'm so excited about the prospect of Naruhodo's Anything Consultancy opening for business again.
That's not what it's called. It's Naruhodo's legal consultancy. That's another reference to the Anything Agency. I've done a lot of studying in these past 6 months, reading law texts and judicial precedents. I'm sure I'm a better lawyer now. I can't wait to start practicing again.
Nothing's changed in here at all, though, hasn't it? It's as though time has stood still in here since Susie went back to Japan.
I wanted to keep it ready for Miss Suzato in case she was able to return to Britain at any point. So I just left everything the way it was.
Oh, I see. Right. And there was me thinking it's because of the way you are, you know? You know, never bothering to tidy up, I mean.
Iris, this isn't the time or the place to bring up my tidiness. Or lack of it. Oh. that's just like fun fluff that you can get. So where do we go? Maybe we gotta go back down here, I don't know. We didn't even get anything here. Wait, I saw something new I could examine. Am I crazy? Oh, you know what I never did? I never looked up here.
That's where the cove ended up after its instant kinesis or whatever you call it. Dead, of course.
And yet they're calling the experiment a success.
What's the wind scaffold there for? The coppers, our lads, set that up after the incident happened. To get the body down, I think. Dunno, really.
Didn't you help to erect the scaffold, then?
Nah, lookout duty's more me thing. Wandering around the exhibition and keeping a lookout for the fun stuff.
Mine Gregson didn't hear you saying that, or he'll give you the boot. It's incredible, though, isn't it? I mean, could the victim really have bridged that gap by some sort of invisible kinesis? What about the flag? What, I can't examine the flag? Oh, I can examine the balloons. I've been meaning to ask you a while now, but what are those funny round blobs floating in the sky?
Oh, they're the flying balloons I've been talking about. I want to go up in one so much.
I've read about situations like this in a magazine about strange phenomena. Creatures from outer space coming in round flying objects to attack Earth.
What?
I suppose inhabitants of other planets are bound to be interested in the great exhibition. This is it, Iris. It's happening.
It's not. Don't worry. I'll explain all to you later over a nice cup of tea, Reno.
Nothing else to examine, I think. Oh, wait, what's this? This platform must have been set up for the experiment, I suppose. It's very high up.
About 30 feet above the ground, apparently. That's what a policeman I just spoke to said.
I don't really understand feet very well. We don't use them in Japan.
Oh yeah, sorry. It's about 9 meters. But soon you'll have been in London a year, Reno. It's time you got used to our measurements.
Do the British not... I thought the British don't use that anymore. Do they... I think they use, like, meters now, right? Yes, well, this thing is so tall, the spectators at the front would just have seen a wall and nothing else.
They probably thought they secured a spot for the watch from, only to be disappointed.
There's a saying in Japan, the darkest spot is right under the lighthouse. I feel like it probably applies here. Hmm? Well, that was fun. Well, this. These stairs lead to the stage above. Okay. Is there anything else to examine, then? Kind of confused, actually. Is there really nothing else to examine here? I already had a look at everything. I can't look at the sky. The sky is not examinable, guys. Where the fuck do I go? I've already been everywhere. I feel like there's something I'm probably forgetting. Can I look at my history real quick? How far can I scroll up? I don't think it's gonna let me scroll up that far. Oh, dang it. Do you really not know anything about this? Nope. Maybe I gotta show Gina this contraption. I don't fucking know. Let's see. So we have the experiment sketch. Mysterious contraption. I should probably look at this mysterious contraption, to be honest. I didn't do that yet. Which part can I actually examine? You can't find anything out of place, can you? Really? I thought I could examine it. Oh, wait, there's something here. Ah, there's some sort of lever here. Oh, shit. We got a crossbow. What is this? It looks like a cross between a bow and a gun. I think it's probably used for the same thing, too. Oh shit, we got a crossbow in our inventory now? Holy fuck. Okay, that's definitely worth doing then. Looks like you wind this around in order to draw the bowstring back and create tension. Must be able to fire arrows with a huge amount of focus using this device then. In fact, I'd imagine it's far more accurate and powerful than a Japanese longbow. I really had no idea what I was picking up when I spotted this exhibition grounds. Ah. Fascinating. This groove here must be where the arrows are loaded, I suppose. Sar's right. It's a sort of bow with an automatic firing mechanism. This would be perfect for someone like me who catches his ear with a bowstring 2 times out of 3. In fact, if I had one of these, maybe I could have been Cosmo and Kyoto archery training. Just reminiscing on the past, I guess. Okay, can I present the crossbow now? Oh, nope, boo. The Reaper attacked. It's the kingpins of the criminal underworld generally managing to escape conviction, the Reaper's trials. And this isn't the first time the henchmen have tried to attack Lord Van Zieks as a result, by the sound of it. Makes you think, if that's how the justice system works in London, then there must be dark forces at work. There's a thing about a lost cat. And I read this already. Are you sure there's nothing else to examine with the crossbow? Nah, it doesn't seem like it. Maybe I gotta give Gina the crossbow, I don't know. I mean, I could go to the prison again, maybe. I think I need to reload the experimentation stage again. Okay, let me try showing her the crossbow. Oh. Okay, nope. Dang. I thought I was onto something there. I'm gonna be honest, I don't fucking know. I'll probably figure it out in the next episode. How about that? I'm kind of tired. So, I mean, I feel like we're getting pretty close to the end of the first investigation anyways. So, yeah. In the next episode, we will hopefully quickly wrap up the first investigation and then probably start the trials, what I'm thinking. So, yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching Great Ace Attorney 2. Make sure to like and subscribe to me on YouTube and Twitch. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. So, until then.